What I kind of wanted to do today, I've done these with y'all before, but we've had new things since then. So what I was going to start with, I'm really going to focus on our gateway product, the omni-channel solution, which is our P terminals, also QD terminals if you have them on the gateway, which y'all have been doing. The one I'm going to focus on today is our P series, and I've got it on the screen where I can pull it up. I'm going to go over all the different functions that we've added. Got something really nice that I think y'all might really enjoy, and it's called light inventory. So instead of having a full-blown POS, you're going to be able to put up to 200 items on an actual credit card terminal. So let me start by sharing my screen. Here we go. Share my screen. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just doing a Zoom call.
All right. Let me know if that is. Jackie, how does that look?
It looks great.
Okay, because I'm not able to see it. But anyway, how weird. Okay. Now on the terminal that I'm using, it's a P3, the P1, the P3, the P5, the tap on phone on Android or Apple, they all have this exact same software, so they look identical. So what I'm going to go through, I'm just going to kind of walk through all the functions of this terminal to start with, and then I want to show you the new light inventory and how that works with dual pricing and all of that above. So up in the top left-hand corner, I call that the hamburger, the little 3 lines. That's just your quick reference guide. So if you want to go do a void, press void, it takes you straight to the void screen. If you want to go to a refund, same thing, go straight to the refund screen. So very simple to use. These are very visually appealing to the bright colors and very easy to walk through the functions of it. The up to the right of where it says refund, I'm gonna go back to the sales screen. The little say it looks like a piñata or something, that's actually a table. So we can do split payments on here, up to 7 splits, equal, unequal. You can do gift cards, you can do cash, you can do cards, whatever you need to do from the split payment. And again, they don't have to be equal, they can be any way you want to do it. The light inventory is the little shopping cart next to it. I'm going to get into this a little further here in just a second, but again, you can put 200 items on the screen right there, and they can use this as a POS system. So great, maybe for your taco trucks, your smaller boutiques, maybe flea market type places where they just don't have a ton of inventory and they don't want a full-blown Clover or POS, Dejavoo Pro, any of those type things. Down in the bottom left-hand corner, all of these terminals will do Spanish or English. We will be adding other languages, probably Mandarin and some others at some point. Right now it's Spanish and English, but it's very simple to change over. Go into your settings, go down to your language and themes, and press the Spanish, hit the green button. Everything on the screen will be Spanish. The receipts will be Spanish, and you can even change over your dashboard to Spanish as well. I'm gonna leave it in English because I don't know Spanish, so don't want that. The little gold star, this is where the merchant has the ability to go in, reprint receipts, show or settle their batch. They can adjust tips, gift card and loyalty if they have it. Upgrade apps if they ever need to upgrade an app. They can run their reports. On their reports, they can go in, summary reports, daily reports, untipped, tipped, alternative payments, all of that's right there at their fingertips. As you see, open batch or closed batch. You can also go in and see your pre-sale or your invoice status, EBT balance. So all of the functions they're going to need are right there on their screen. Another nice function of this. Yes, I saw somebody come into the chat. Let's see what we've got. Why on the queue line it doesn't give you the option to void the first transaction, only the last? Good question, Justin, and I am not 100% sure of that. I figured you could void any that you wanted, but that's something I'll have to check for you. All right. On the headset, so you have the contact us, that would be Dejavoo. If they need to contact us for whatever reason, all of our information is there. Now, if they want y'all to contact them back, there's a call me back button. They can put in whatever it is that they're having an issue with. Let's just say it's a battery issue. Put in a phone number. Once they hit the green button, it'll automatically send Pay Compass a notification. Hey, this merchant needs you to call them. Y'all can call them immediately and get that fixed. So that's a really nice function as well. The remote diagnostics is actually how I'm showing y'all my terminal on the screen. So y'all can log into your merchant's terminal from wherever you are, and you don't actually have to go on location or get on the phone with support. You can actually get into their terminal, see what's going on, hopefully get it fixed without having to go through a lot of hoopla. Now, one of the really nice features of these is the demo videos. So you know how it is, and you'll sign up a merchant. The first day that they're signed up, they'll call you and they'll go, oh, I don't know how to work this new terminal. How do I do a void? Well, let me tell you, you go to the headset, you hit the demo videos, go to the second column, the little green square, void transaction. It'll walk you through from A to Z how to do a void transaction on that terminal. It actually speaks to you. You can't hear it on these demos, but it'll actually speak to you and walk you through it. So this is really good too if you have a merchant that maybe has new people coming through all the time, and instead of them, you know, having to go grab a manager or something, they can just watch the demo video and they can figure it out very quickly. And as you can see, there's some other, you know, videos: sale with tip, sale with fee, refund. All the main things that they would probably need to ask about are right there on there. And I'm sure as we grow, if there's some other videos that need to be added, we can do that as well. All right, so now I want to show you this function of the inventory, light inventory. So I have this built in with dual pricing. You can add, of course, as many items as you want. You can also add discounts on here. So if you want to add a dollar discount or a percentage discount, you can do that right there as well. You can add as many items as you want. I'm just going to add a few here to show y'all how this works. And get some beer in there because I'm in Texas. Got to have that. All right. And now I'm going to go to the checkout. So if you'll see on the checkout, you've got your card and your cash price. So they have the ability again to see what they want to pay. Once you go to the checkout, then it's just like a regular transaction. Add a tip. Okay, we'll add a tip. And then you have your dual pricing again. There's your card and your cash price. Do the card. You have all the options of either tap the card, insert the chip, tap the card, insert the chip. You can send a payment link. You can now, when you have the receipts, you've got options as well. You can text it, email it, hit print, and it'll print out paper, or no receipt at all. So I'm just going to do the no receipt. You have the little smiley face survey. How did we do? We're going to say we did great today. You can also have those smiley face surveys link up to their Yelp page or their website or whatever you need to do social media wise there. So that's really nice on the light inventory to be able to do that. We've had a lot of like arts festivals and music festivals and places like that have been using these terminals with that light inventory on them. They've said it's worked great. So we've got some test accounts that have used it and really liked it. So, all right, so now I'm just going to run a regular transaction with the split payment. So I'm going to do $100 transaction, hit the split payment. I'm going to just make this easy. I'm going to split it 4 ways, and I hit confirm. So now on the screen, it's going to give you your total amount, the $100. It gives you the base amount now after the $25 payment of $75. So let's say I don't want to pay the 25, I want to pay more. I'm going to pay 35. And then when I go to the next screen, I'm just going to make this easy and do no tip. Now, when I proceed, again, I've got my dual payment. If I want to pay cash on this first one, I'm going to pay cash. I'm going to say I gave them $40. If you'll notice, it pops up the confetti, says congratulations. Now you owe them $5. So give them a receipt, say they're happy. Now you go back. Now it's split the three payments that are left up. I owe 2167. I have a balance after that of 4355, 4333. I'm sorry. All right, so I'm going to say that next person wants to go ahead and pay the 25. I'm going to do the no tip again. Proceed. I'm going to pay with a card this time. Tap to pay. That transaction goes through. I'm going to do no receipt. And then we're all happy, goes back. Now I got two payments of $20. Okay, the next guy's going to say, let's just pay our 20. We're going to get out of here. We're going to pay with a card. We're going to tap pay and done. No receipt. Happy. Back to the payment. Got one payment left. Okay, we're good. No tip. Proceed. Tap to pay. And we're good. So as you can see, and you can use gift cards, you can use, you know, any tender that you take. We also, you know, if they want to, we have a partnership with a company called SensePass that does Venmo, PayPal, Klarna, crypto, all of that included. That can be included on here. We can also add ACH with Paya. So ACH is on there as well. So you've got all kinds of different options. One of the next things I just wanted to show you was just send the payment link. So this is really nice when you get to the payment side of this and you decide you want to send a payment link. It gives you options. So you can put in a phone number, you can put in an email, you can put both. You can also have it expire in 1 day, 1 week, or 1 month. You can also put in a reference number that will actually show on the transaction in the portal. You can put a description. It does not show anywhere, but you can have it on the transaction. So this is really nice. I would send it to one of y'all if you want to see what it looks like. If not, we can just kind of go on. All right. So that is really all of the functions now on the terminal. We also have added level 2, level 3 autofill optimization. So basically, if you take a corporate card in the terminal or in the virtual terminal, the e-invoicing, any of that, the hosted payment page, it'll automatically fill all the information that needs to go to the processor for it to qualify for level 2 and level 3. So that's really a nice function as well. We also have QuickBooks integration, so it'll integrate with QuickBooks Online. So that's another nice function of this as well. All right, let me stop the share on this one. And now I want to go into my portal. Let me go back here. All right, here we go. All right, so I'm sure most of y'all have seen this, but this is going to be the dashboard that the merchants have access to. PayCompass has their own that they can build the files and do all of that and edit parameters and things like that. But the merchant has their login. And the merchant is going to be able to see all of their numbers. Any of these boxes that you go over, you can actually go into further. So let's say I click on this gray box. It's going to give me numbers here. It's going to tell me my monthly processing. I can also go in and view by summary, view by device, or view by channel. So that's a really nice function for your merchants to have. They have access to see all of the transactions and things over the month, kind of see their detailed reports. They can also go in here by date ranges. So if they want to see the last 2 months, last 3 months, current month, yesterday, last month. If they have 10 stores on the system here, they can go in and filter by all their stores and compare them to each other. They can also go in by terminal profile number or TPN. These can also be relabeled to be like store 1, store 2, or Dallas, Fort Worth, Tempe, you know, that type thing. They can also see their weekly numbers here. And then down at the bottom, all their total sales, average batch, average daily sales, all of that here, tip amount, fee amount, tax included, that type thing. These terminals will do 2 different taxes, state and local. So if they want to have us do the tax for them, we can do that as well. On the user management side of this, so whoever the store manager or store owner or whoever is responsible for this can actually add users. So they're able to come in here, give permissions and give different admins and operators and store managers, multi-store managers. So easy as putting in a first name, last name, email, and phone number, and then they'll get a link to be able to log in. And then they can also turn off certain permissions. Maybe they don't want them to be able to do voids or refunds or things like that. They can do that. In the transactions, these transactions are in here forever. Good thing about this system, especially if y'all are going after restaurants, since everything is already stored in the cloud and in our system and it's tokenized, encrypted, they can actually go in here after a batch and do an additional auth. So restaurants love that. They always have people come up after they've already batched going, I forgot this tip. They would have to call the processor or call y'all and go, hey, I need that card number. I've got to put additional auth through there. And here, all they have to do is come in here and hit the blue button more, do an additional auth after batch. They also are able to go in here and view receipts for as far back as they want to go. They can, let's say they want to see the customer copy of this. All that information is right there on the screen. They also can email this from here. They can turn it into a PNG, print it to their own back office, or email. Simple as popping an email in there and hitting submit, and it'll send it immediately. There's also digital marketing on this receipt. So they can have whatever they want down here, you know, a barcode or a coupon code or a link to their website or a $5 off on Friday, whatever they want there as well. Voids and refunds can be done from this system as well. So you can do full or partial. Like this, since it hadn't been batched yet, it would be a partial. So if I do a $2 refund or void, it'll go through and it'll say done. There we go, approved. And then when I come back here, you'll see that that transaction now that was 2080 is 1880. So that $2 was taken off of there since it hadn't been batched. That's how the transaction would go. Again, you can go through here. We have filters galore. So let's say that the merchant is wanting to run a specific report. They can go into their filters. They can do a custom report if they want, just by a certain days. They want to go from the 1st through the 4th, you know, just see what their first few days look like. Once they hit OK and go to search, now all their transactions over here are going to be from the 4th to the 1st. And if they want to download that as a report, they can do that as well. As you can tell, there's filters galore on here. You can go for alternate payments. You can go for status, decline, partial approvals. You can go for refund, sale, tickets, any kind of refund you want. I mean, any kind of filter you want to do. If you want to look for a card by the last 4 or by the card holder's name, that's on here. You can also go in by device models. So we give you all the filters. There's 100 different ways to look up what you're looking for. All right, on the cloud pause, so this is going to be your virtual terminal, your e-invoicing, all of that within the cloud pause here. So on the payment side of this, Quick Pay would be using this just as a virtual terminal. If you'll notice, I've got this set up for dual pricing. I have ACH on here. So if you'll notice when I do this, if I put in a $50 payment, now on my card price, it says $51.50, my ACH is 50. So that's how you can do dual pricing legally and compliant with all the card brands because they have a cash option. And before the ACH was on here, it was really not a very compliant way of doing it. But I also have this set up with QuickBooks already. So on the QuickBooks, they can either enter in an invoice that was created in QuickBooks, or if they don't want to do that, we will generate a QuickBooks invoice for them. And then when they go into QuickBooks, it'll match up. But they can also search. So if they want to search by a certain name, you know, Sue's Sushi by whatever, it's there. If they also want to search by an invoice number, they can put in an invoice number and search by the invoice number. So again, if they have QuickBooks Online and they create an invoice in QuickBooks, they still have to use our system to actually send the invoice. They can't send it from QuickBooks and then us pull that information, if that makes sense to y'all. So just want to make that clear. They can send a payment link, same way. Send a payment link. It'll come with the two payment options, the ACH and the card. And then, of course, we can add up to 5 emails other than the initial email. So 6 emails to one payment link. There was one other thing I was going to show y'all on here is you can actually do card present transactions with the virtual terminal. So I've got one of the P5s right now set up to be a card present transaction with a virtual terminal. So I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. Make this a little larger. Here we go. Now, when I change this over to a pen pad and I want to do a pay now link on the, I'm sorry, pen pad. And then when I run a transaction and I get ready to proceed, I have the fee added, I hit proceed, and now it's going to go over to my P5 and it's going to wake it up and it's going to say, you're ready to run a transaction. And this can be merchant facing, where the customer facing, where the customer can see, okay, I've got 2 options. How do I want to pay? I'm going to pay with my card, tap to pay, and transaction goes through. Now it says it's done. How you happy? Yes, we're happy. Now it goes back and it's looking and waiting for a transaction. But let's say that merchant wants to use this terminal now, though, as a terminal and not just waiting on a virtual terminal sale. They can hit this bypass button at the top, and now it's in transaction mode. So you can just go ahead and run a transaction just like normal. Do a cash transaction, put in your $20, hit OK, done, email, and you're back. So it's really nice. So if y'all are going after car dealers, doctor's offices, dentist office, optometrists, places like that that have usually an office manager, this is a great function for them, because they can actually, this being a cloud-based system, you can be in Fort Worth, Texas on your virtual terminal. I can send that transaction to Tempe, Arizona, and they can run a transaction on their terminal sitting there, because this is all cloud-based anyway. So it doesn't have to be right in the same location. But at a car dealer, what they like to do is have their parts, their service, and parts service, and then one of the other departments all together, and then having one office manager, and she can pick where she's going to send the sale to, and they can just have 3 different terminals sitting there taking transactions. So they're getting better rates, of course, y'all know that, by card present, less chargeback, all of the benefits of doing card present, but doing it through a virtual terminal. So that's one of the really nice functions of having this, and it's very simple to do. You can also do itemized billing on here. So if you want to, I'm just going to put in my cell over here. Whoops, wrong number. And it'll know who I am. Yes, let's select that. And then when I get ready to add the inventory, I can go through and all of my inventory is on here. I can add my items. Go to the next. I'm just going to do a couple since we're going through this. And once you go to the next item, then you've got your information here. I've got my card price, my cash price. Now I'm ready to run the sale. So I guess I better put in a card. Here we go. And you're done. So it's that simple. Itemized billing. And then you can also go in here in your portal and see invoices. So you can see what's been done. You can also view it. So you can see where it came from, where it went to, what items were on the invoice, and what was paid for. You can also go in and see what's expired, what's pending. So all of your invoices in here, you have the ability to go in and see what you have and what's, pending or what's expired. You can also go in and hit on one of these that maybe is pending, hit a resend link. Maybe the person goes, well, I don't remember getting the link. Okay, I'll resend it right now. hit resend, it'll resend that link. So that's another really nice function on here. And then of course, we've got all the filters on here for this. So you can go in, you can filter by all your pending, all your expired, the ones that failed, the ones that got canceled. So this is a really nice function for your merchants. They'll love this. They can also go in and do it as a custom by date range and that type thing. So you're always going to have really good filters in this system to do any kind of reporting or any kind of cleanup that you need to do. You can also set up as many reoccurring payments as you want. So this can do, you know, thousands of reoccurring payments. In the batches, of course, you can go in, you can look at open batches, you can look at closed batches, you can pick a certain batch and then view it. And if you'll notice, again, very visually appealing, the colors and everything are very nice. So you can see what cards were taken. And then on alternative payments, here's your cash payments. So you can see that anything with the little eyeball, you can click on that. It'll actually show you everything, your reference number, a cash transaction, done on Wi-Fi, you know, so you've got information here. Same thing with your card transactions. You can click on the eyeball, it'll tell you everything about it right here. A chip transaction, EMV, mid number, all of that's right there. So that is looking up batches. And of course, on these batches, you can do tip management reports. You can download, export this as an Excel, save as a PDF. If you'll notice it too at the top, all of your numbers up here, you've got your credit debit, your total, your alternative payments. Then down here, how much tip was, how much fee was, how much tax was, all of that's there. So everything they're going to need is right there. This is what I call the vault. This is my customer vault. So anytime that you're doing a transaction on the terminal and you text or email a receipt, it'll save in the vault. If you just print off a receipt, it's not going to save their information. Certain cards also don't send all the information to the vault, but most of them do. So on this, of course, you know, I'm the one doing all these demos, but I've got 3 different cards on file here. So I can actually go in here and I can add a reoccurring payment from here. I can edit this customer, delete them, or I can just send a payment link straight from here. I can also add a card. If they want to add a different card, I just put in their card information, hit validate. That card has been added. So if I want to send a payment link, all I do is hit send payment link. Now, if you'll notice it auto-fills everything except for the amount. So I would just put in the amount. I've already got my email and my phone number in there, put in the amount and hit send payment link and it's done. So it's that simple. If I want to run a payment, so I've got 3 different cards on file. All I have to do is go to this card, click the drop down, hit run sale. Now it'll auto generate everything but the 3-digit code. I don't even need to put that 3-digit code in here. I can just put in, you know, a $20 sale, hit proceed, and it's done. It already stored that card information, so that 3-digit code doesn't even need to apply from this system. So that's really nice. My customer vault is great. It's easy to work with. It's easy to add customers. If you want to add somebody, you can just go up here to the add and add them right there, save their information, save and add a card. All of that's right there. On the settings side of this, so we also have a hosted payment page or a generic hosted payment page. So let me show you what the generic looks like first. So if they want to generate a payment form, they just pick their TPN. All they have to do is copy and paste this little URL link. And then let me put it into a browser and show you all what it looks like. Here we go. So this is really nice for donation pages or, you know, something like that. If they don't need a full-blown hosted payment, bless you, a full-blown hosted payment page, this generic is great. So, you know, I can, again, I have SensePass added to this one, but you can go in here and add your dollar amount. It'll add your fees. It won't add a fee to SensePass or ACH, but you can just run your card information, Oh, it's good. That's my debit card. I think I'm gonna cancel that. All right. And then you've got to hit the I'm not a robot for security purposes and hit go, and you're done. I was going to show y'all also, though, these are a couple of hosted payment pages that we actually have customers that have done. They did this themselves. So down in Developer Central for the merchant, they have all the access to our API docs and things like that, that they can actually create their own hosted payment page, deep linking, different things like that, spin integration. All of that is at their access. So here's a couple that were done. This is one of the dental offices that one of our ISOs created. So, and these can be done in any way. You can have different fonts, you can have different colors, you can have them arranged different. This is a very generic, even though it's a hosted one. They dental office, welcome to Hudic Dental. Description of the make the payment. They have their payment information, of course, asterisks by everything they need, their contact information, their billing information, their patient information, and then again, the hit I'm not a robot. So that's one example of someone that coded. This is another example for an air conditioning and heating company. They did it a little more basic, but you can add as many fields as you want. You can have as many, different ways that you want it to look. So this is two examples of that. All right, so back on this, I was going to show y'all also how easy this is to actually integrate with the QuickBooks. So I'm going to revoke access now. So now if I went back to my payment screen, that boxes are gone. So the QuickBook boxes are gone, but I want to add my QuickBooks. So I go down to QuickBooks in the settings. I go to integrate, I hit connect. Once I do that, it goes and looks for my Intuit login. It's going to ask me to sign in and of course put my password, and it better remember me because I don't remember it. There it is. And once they log into their Intuit, then they sync with our iPOS Pay, and it goes back to our iPOS and it says QuickBooks connected successfully. Then they can add defaults or they don't have to. I always go in here and put it under service and my checking account, but they can put it under whatever they want. They can also choose if they want only a base amount or a total with tip, tax, and any additional. And then they hit save, and it's going to say settings have been updated. So then when I come back to my Cloud Pause and I go to payments, I'm going to have the boxes, and they already have my defaults in there, service and checking. This is where I can put in the numbers, or will auto generate a invoice number for them. So if you'll notice on these transactions, the QuickBooks invoice number is right here, 1592. So these were ones that we auto-generated. So any of these transactions, 1591, 1589, so they're going to have a number, and then when they go into QuickBooks, that number will match that transaction so they can consolidate everything. In the Developer Central, again, if they want to do the hosted payment page, they can click on here and their developers can have all the information that they're going to need to code their own page. And it's about 70 pages that I'm not going to go through because I'm not a tech guy, but anyway, it's all there for them. If they want to add inventory, it's as simple right now as they have to manually do it. We are working on where it can be a bulk upload type thing where they can just upload a menu or whatever they want to do from there. But for right now, it's very simple. Go in here, you put in your product name, your code, your cash price, your card price, your taxes if you have them, description, items of measurement. We give them all kinds of items of measurement they can use. And then of course their commodity code, and they hit save. So very simple, very easy to use. As you can tell, I've got a restaurant in here and a few items. So on the digital marketing side of this, let me go into, that actually has to be done from the ISO side. So let's see here. I think basically that is all of everything that I was wanting to show you. That's a little bit quicker than maybe normal. I'll open it up kind of for questions if we have any questions right now.
Yes, so let's start with the chat. There's a couple
Okay, yeah, let
questions here
me
for
see what
you.
we got. Okay.
The first one is, can you dive into the QuickBooks integration a bit more?
So what exactly do you mean by that? Just how it works and that type thing?
Yeah, that's all right. I asked that before you went into everything, so you can
Okay.
disregard.
Okay.
Okay. How you doing, Ira?
Good, brother. How are you, man? Good to see
I'm
your
doing
face.
well. Yeah, you too. I'm hoping I can get you to start selling some Dejavoo. I know
Dude,
you're a big fan of my old company.
to be honest with you, man, after seeing this is very intuitive and robust and does way more than I realized. And just because I saw this, I have like 10 different chain location deals that I could probably bring this to. So we'll talk
That's
after the
awesome.
call.
Okay, sounds good, buddy. I appreciate it. And there is no WooCommerce plugin as of right now. That is probably something that we might look into, but right now the hosted payment page is really the only way that our e-commerce is going to be able to work. So no plugins as of now.
And then there was one more question here that says, does the merchant need to use the same email address in order to see their multiple locations on that drop menu?
The same email in order to see their multiple locations.
I asked that
I'm-
question, so I'm sorry. It's me, Albert.
Yeah, I'm
So
just not sure if I know the answer to it. But I
Okay.
can definitely find out for you.
Awesome, thank you.
Let me write myself a note here.
Yeah, so basically with Clover, if a merchant has multiple locations, they use the same email address.
Yep,
And it
yep.
carries that drop down menu and they can see what location they just toggle in.
So I've
Okay.
got a chain of cellular stores. He's got like 6 cellular stores, and I use Dejavoo in there. And 2 of them are the same exact name, and he uses the same email for them. And there is a drop down in there, and he just got them labeled like the one's like
Perfect.
east and the other one's west. So if you
Okay.
wanted all of them the same, you just have to, when you board the account, just have to tell them the same email. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to have them all together.
Perfect.
As far as I know,
Well, good.
anyway. These are with QD2 and QD4, so it should be the same.
And can you give a partial refund? The transaction has been batched if a restaurant owner needs to. Yes, you can do partial refunds anytime after the batch, or if you do it before, it'll be a partial as well. Yes, so yeah, definitely. That's one of the things about this system is, I mean, you really have a lot of access to do things after batches and even before batches and that type thing. So it's slick. I mean, I worked for another company before here that y'all are familiar with, and I when I came aboard with this company, I was very impressed. I mean, that the other company is really good too, but I would say our developers are very swift and they get new things added all the time. So y'all are going to be very happy with the system. All right. Well, good deal. Well, listen.
There's another question that just came in.
Okay.
Can you give
Yeah.
a partial refund after the transaction has batched?
Yeah,
If restaurant
just-
owner needs to give a refund if customer was overcharged.
Yeah, we just answered that.
Oh, okay. Another
Yeah.
one came in.
Okay,
merchant
can a
have-
merchant have 2
Yeah.
or more merchant IDs and work off the same virtual terminal login? Yeah, so that would be on the virtual terminal. Whenever they're up here, there's a drop down up at the top where it says TPNs. They can have all their different TPNs and they can label those so they can have one virtual terminal but go to different TPNs. Do you have a loyalty program? We actually do. Yes, we have it's called Extra 360. It's a new loyalty program. I would have to get you in touch with somebody that works with that. But yeah, we added that a month or 2 ago, and it's pretty nice. It's one of the ones that like Burger King and some of the big boys out there use. So it's slick, but I don't know enough about it to be dangerous. So I would get y'all in touch with the people that work with that.
My follow-up question to that is it specific, do you specifically need to be on one of the newer terminals with IPOS Gateway? To
Yeah,
take
as
advantage
far
of
as
it?
I know, it's only working with our gateway solution. I don't think it works
Okay.
on the Zs or the
Yeah,
QDs on
okay.
Steam. You know, it would have to be a
That-
QD on the gateway. Yeah. Most of the stuff
Thank
that
you.
we have added, like the level 2, level 3, the QuickBooks integration, those are only for the gateway. They're not for the Zs and the legacy terminals, just because that system, it's not the same, you know, it's a little different, but yeah, well, great. I appreciate y'all, man. This has been awesome. I'd love to do this, you know, once a month or once every 2 months or something like that. And we can do that. Do invoices have to be created in the portal or can they? Okay, so good question, Ashley. And so this is kind of a difficult way to say, but you can create the invoice in QuickBooks, but you can't send it from QuickBooks and then us have it in our system. So you can actually create the invoice. And then when you come into our system, you go down here to where the invoice number is, you put that invoice number in, and then they sync up in QuickBooks to the one that you created in QuickBooks. Now, if you don't create it in QuickBooks beforehand, and you do it in here, we will generate an invoice number for you, and then it will sync up with that transaction in QuickBooks. So it's kind of a one-way street, but you know, going from us to QuickBooks. But if you already generated something in QuickBooks, and you can also search. So let's say you generate it, but you forgot the invoice number or whatever, you can either put in the person's name and it'll find it, or you can put in an invoice number or search for an invoice number as well through here. I hope that answers the question. How much customization is available on individual menu items? So on inventory items, I don't think there's a ton of customization yet. This is all the different things that you can do right now. So you can put in your product name, your code. Now on the, you know, yeah, there's not a lot of customization right now. So if you're wanting a full-blown POS, we do have Dejavoo Pro. It's like a Clover, basically. It's a tablet cloud-based POS, and it will sync with our terminals, any of them, Z's, QDs, or P's. But it is, you know, restaurant or retail specific, and it'll hold tons of items. You can do tables, you can do timekeeping, it'll do everything. This is more just your simple, I'm going to put some items on my terminal and do it like that. So it's not really very customizable. All right. Did I miss anything here? And on the loyalty program, I actually, Justin and myself met at ETA, and he talked to the loyalty program. So I'll have to get with Justin and see how far along they're with that, and if that was something he wanted to add to this. But yeah, it's a really good loyalty program, and I think he probably will be adding it. All right.
Is there any further questions?
I think we're good. Well, I appreciate y'all, man. I really do. And anything y'all need, y'all email me directly or go through Rob or Chris or Justin, anybody, and they'll get to me. They've got all my numbers, and they can send out the bat signal and we'll get it done.
Okay, then that concludes our first Toolbox Tuesday for the month of June. Thank you for joining us this morning. As mentioned at the beginning of the call, this call was recorded and will be uploaded later this afternoon to the YouTube channel for you and your team to have access to. Thank you, Larry, for being with us today. I hope you all.
And I want to thank y'all too. And thank y'all when y'all shout us out on LinkedIn. We appreciate it. Derek, you've been doing a great job. I appreciate you. Anybody else? I didn't want to leave you out, but yeah, y'all shout us out on LinkedIn. We've also, you know, really got some cool 3D videos that we can create for y'all. So get with our marketing team, Jackie, and they'll get you fixed up.
Sounds good. All right. I hope everyone has
See
a
y'all.
great rest of your day, and we'll see you soon.